Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Get up! 180! Watch my board. Hey, here I come! Here I come! Here I come!
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Able to find Shaheen here. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
55. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd down now. It's Cohen. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
First down, a run with Cohen. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch. Slam, slam, slam.
Trubisky will throw. And he completes it to Cohen. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss.
Right now, you got 58. Shit. Back. Check your hot read. Hey, watch it.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. The numbers a week ago for Cook. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. On second down, Cook. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over, maybe even starting with this game.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go. You tighten up. Mike, check.
To throw is Rodgers. And this is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Mike 5-9, Mike 5-9. I'm coming. 59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check, 59. Who that?
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need to rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team, because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And some space here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's really difficult.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, Haywood. 59. Mike's 59. Better bring it. You better bring it.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers open here, Adam Thielen. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Kill. Turn up. Kill.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
A first down carry for Henry. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, exit. Check, 59. Rip right. Check 26. Check 13. Check 13.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Below Nichols. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing. but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 33. Derrick Henry looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 22-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check 43.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's got the first down inside the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown.
He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball out of the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there.
Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you?
At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground.
Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Come on, 180. Watching you fight. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Trubisky now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
That is caught by Cohen, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Maher is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here comes the Bears defense now back onto the field. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed it. Totally missed it.
They start the drive with Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards. He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance in Week 3.
And the way he was able to do it last week, he started off doing it again this week. Energy, the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, attacks the defense, sets them back on their heels, and he finds openings as a result.
Rodgers now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
26. 59 mark. Check, 59. Watch the screen.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's able to find Wallace. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first down, Rodgers. On the screen, this is Edmonds. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Tighten up. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Boom.
Back to the ground, Cook. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Come on, D. Check 37. Check 37. Showing up. Showing up. Hey, check 26. Hey, Delta. Mike 5'9".
Throwing now is Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Check. Fresno. Whip. Watch the whip.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Vikings on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st down, Cohen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
On second down, it's Cohen. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Alert 3. Alert 3.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He's going to have the first down past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
There's Anthony Miller as they trot back out to go on offense. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Breaks through the contact. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They can't hang with us. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
It's a party now. It's a party now. 58, boys. 58. 58. Mike.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Rodgers now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. He's coming.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them.
Cook stripped. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense? Though they're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out, looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check 99, check 99, check 4, check 4.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Hey, you block over here. Yeah, 58 to Mike. Five. Long day. That's going to be a long day.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rodgers again now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. Bailey's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where you see the final score there. 20-13, the final score. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Andy Isabella, a touchdown catch in the victory. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Teddy Bridgewater, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. So we got man.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And Diggs has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
319. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's got Smith here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run on first down. It's Henry. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
319. Go, go, go.
On 1st and 10, Rodgers. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now it's Henry. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Running for it, here's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But you said 3 rushing touchdowns, and of course throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Going up top for Miller. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On second down, it's Cohen. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Now Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
58, right over there, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Exit. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
From the 27, Rodgers flush to his right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Mike 59. Your track. Mike 59.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Going long here for Wallace. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Trubisky to throw. That is caught by Cohen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
I'm here all day.
6 guys.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On first down, Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet.
Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And some room to run now. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
58, boys, 58.
58 is Mike. All right, T, let's
Hey, Alpha.
Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike. Oh, here we go. Oh, check. Check.
Rodgers now to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Mike, check, 59.
They're not ready for this, man.
On first down, Rodgers. He's able to find Wallace. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Rodgers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10.
58 to Mike. Hey, here we go. 58 to Mike.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
Hey, I 7. Give me that ball, defense.
Rodgers to throw once more. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
Check three. Rush in.
Now Cook. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Cohen, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
They'll find Miller. That's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the twist.
Draw play, Cohen. And he loses the football a second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers, they set up the screen for Henry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and didn't do it very often.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Rodgers now on 1st down. Setting up the screen for Cook. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers, quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 5.
Check 59. Mike is 59.
Liz. All day, dog.
And again, it's Rodgers. Complete. It's Henry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Trubisky now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Trubisky completes it to Miller. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Cohen. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
180. Right there in the middle. 55. Let's go, D. Let's go. Slam, slam.
They try again with Cohen. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
And now out comes Minnesota. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
It was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". You don't want none of that. Give it. Pick up the ball. 59.
From the 44, Rodgers. And Diggs has it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Inside. 58, boy. 58. 58. Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run. Smooth.
And 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Hey, tighten down. There you go. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Now Rodgers. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, 38 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Extra point try by Bailey. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Watch the pass.
Now it's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. He's got his tight end, Burton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Trubisky's throw into the hands of Burton. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he completes it to Cohen. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Trubisky to throw again. It's complete. It's Miller. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Maher able to put this one through. And he'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much. A little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat. 36, 36. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist, twist. Slam, slam.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
58, boy, 58, 58.
26.
Hey, 58 is a mic. Go 58.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Trubisky to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Gets this to his running back, Yr2. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trubisky leaves with Montgomery on the draw. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play is supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
18.
59. Watch the run. Watch the run. Mike's 5'9".
Hey, check 26.
Don't say nothing. 59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check. 59.
Rodgers throwing here. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Mike, check. 59.
Hey, tank.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Hey, wahoo!
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Hey, watch the ball. Watch it.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Here comes Cohen. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. One last shot for Trubisky. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.